What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Prize Picks video for you. Today is Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. We're talking NBA player props over on Prize Picks. As always, I hope these videos find you all doing well and in good spirits. We'll kick things off with a quick recap over yesterday's plays and then dive on into the Prize Picks board. I got 3 player props that I want to share with you today. So if you like the way that sounds, stick around, drop a like, drop a sub, click the notification icon so that you are notified of all upcoming content and videos from me, and that you so that you don't miss anything from me and my channel. And without further delay, let us jump into those plays from yesterday. All right, 2-2 on the day. Let's recap this coast to coast. Let's start on the East Coast with the New York Knicks, the Northeast. 0-2 with our Knicks plays yesterday. Brunson finishes well under 10 rebounds and assists. And then Mitchell Robinson finishes the entire game with 12 fantasy points. We needed 15 and a half from him in the first half. So obviously he did not hit his prop. Got into some early foul trouble and sat the bench. And at that point knew it would be very difficult for him to hit his prop, because you're already working with a small window of time when you pick first half props. And then when it gets condensed due to foul trouble, it's tougher. So Mitchell Robinson did not come through for us. However, heading on over to the West Coast, our 2 Lakers, those props did well for us. So let's talk about those. D'Angelo Russell finishes with 36 fantasy points, 36 and a half fantasy points, I believe. And then Dennis Schroeder finishes the game with 19 points. I guarantee you his point prop next game will not be 7. So we talked about what I saw in the Sacramento series and why I like these 2 guards versus Golden State. And it looked like it paid off yesterday, because Golden State really didn't have an answer for D'Angelo Russell, how he was able just to kind of cut through that defense. And there were so many uncontested layups that he had. It was ridiculous. And as long as his threes are falling, then he's going to be in good shape to hit point prop and then to hit fantasy prop. I really doubt we see his fantasy score at 29.0 again. I believe I mentioned it yesterday. It's probably the lowest we're going to see his fantasy score all series. So I hope you were able to tail at least the Lakers plays, because those worked out. Man, I really wish we could have had better luck with the Knicks plays. But we move on to today, Boston versus Philly. Let's transition on over to the Prize Picks board, and we'll break this one down. All right, before we move on to the Prize Picks board, I wanted to add a little bit more context to that Dennis Schroeder play. So keep in mind, I mentioned yesterday, new series create new theories, and my theory was that Dennis Schroeder would be needed more in this series versus the Golden State Warriors because of the bench needing to step up in these later rounds. Also, I don't know if you watched the game or not, but between Dennis Schroeder and Jared Vanderbilt, those 2 guys really did a great job in containing Steph Curry's production yesterday. And those 2 guys are the only 2 guys that I know that I can see on that team that can do that, run around the court, smother Curry. And as long as they're able to do that, as long as Schroeder's able to do that, it's going to ensure his minutes on the floor. And as long as he's on the floor, he's going to shoot, and he's going to get better, and he's going to get more confident. And we are going to start seeing, his props presented heavier on the Prize Picks board, and we can start taking some of the overs on these. So I really do like the outlook for Dennis Schroeder in this series versus the Warriors. All right, moving on. Let's start talking about some Prize Picks props for today. I want to start over on the Boston side, and I want to talk about a guy who I kind of ignored in the first game, but not going to ignore him in this game. It's going to be Jason Tatum, 43 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. I like the over on this one. Let's head on over to props.cash, and I will break this one down. Okay, we're over on props.cash. Now, you're going to see some familiar names in this video. We got one game on a slate. Like, there's no need to go dumpster diving for value here. The rotations are already short, so you're going to hear me talk about a couple of the same guys from the last video, but with good reason, right? So let's talk about Jason Tatum today, somebody we did not talk about last video. Now, the reason I didn't mention him last video was I was concerned with how Philly would play him in game 1. So I stayed away from his lines. I didn't know, how Doc Rivers would play him, and I thought there was a chance that he might have to be in a position where he defers a lot and not score a lot. Well, that didn't happen. So he scored a ton of points. and he went for a huge PRA in that game. 55 PRA in that game. I have the home split set up. We can go to all, but still it's the same. So this is his playoff game log. We can see that he's gone over PRA 5 out of those 8 games, 5 out of those 7 games. New series, new theories. Jason Tatum is going to be needed in this series to produce, and I don't want to see the Celtics go down 0-2. As a Celtics fan, I don't believe the Celtics want to go down 0-2 as well. So I think we see the same level of play with Jason Tatum. Now, in this game versus the 76ers, Tatum took 25 field goal attempts. That's super high, 25. Now, keep in mind that there is room for some regression here because his homeboy, Jaylen Brown, only took 10 field goal attempts. Something has to give, right? I don't believe we see Jaylen Brown come out and shoot only 10 times again. So does that mean Jason Tatum only shoots 20 times? Do we see Jaylen Brown back in that 15 to 18 range? Where do we see those shots going? It's possible we don't see Jason Tatum take 25 shots, but even if we don't see him take 25 shots, it would just bring him right back down to his averages of, 20, 21. You can see in this game log here upwards of 22, 23. So I still like the outlook for Jason Tatum, and in the event he doesn't go off like he did, he went for 39 points. 39 points versus Philly. I didn't see that coming. But let's say he drops back down and gives you just 30. I really believe that a 30, 10, and 4 line is possible. 30 points, 10 boards, 4 assists. That's 44 PRA. That's over his 43.5 PRA for today. I think there's a room for a little bit of regression, but still him able to hit this line. I like the over. 43.5 PRA for Jason Tatum as prop number 1. All right, and for prop number 2, I want to talk about, like I mentioned, his homeboy, Jaylen Brown, who hooked us, left us on the damn hook last game. 24.5 points is his point prop today. I like the over on this one as well. We're headed right back to props.cash so I can talk about this one. All right, pulling up Jaylen Brown's playoff game log. Look, a lot of this information I provided to my members in the last game. So a lot of this information for them is it's the same. The stats are still the stats. Now, we do have one game under our belt versus Philly in this series. So listen, Jaylen Brown, like I mentioned, there is room for some positive regression for him on the season. We can see where his point totals, his averages were on the season. In the playoffs, we can see where his shot volume can be. He shot 10 times. 10 times. That is insanely low. His lowest volume to that point was 14 shot attempts. 14 shot attempts versus Atlanta back on the 18th. He scored 18 points. So a very similar outcome when Jaylen Brown is not getting his shots. It's not going to be that great of a scoring night. I mean, he needs the volume there. He only took 4 three-point attempts. That's just too low. And so I look at Jason Tatum and say, hey, man, can I get some of those shots? And Jason Tatum says, yeah, man, here's 6. All right, cool. Now Jaylen Brown's at 16 shot attempts. I like that better. Maybe three of those extra shots, 3 of those 6 are 3-pointers. Maybe Jaylen Brown knocks down 2 more 3-pointers. And so now we're looking at a very, very different outcome for Jaylen Brown. Instead of him giving you 23 points, he finishes the game with 27, 28. I think that is a very realistic outcome for today's game. I don't think we see Jaylen Brown only go out there and attempt 10 times. And if we do, then damn it, I was wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong on this one. So give me the over 24.5 points for Jaylen Brown today as play number 2. All right, and I didn't have to scroll too far down to go to play number 3. Let's talk about Tobias Harris. Look, 16.5 points. We took the over on this last game, and it worked out well for us. They did not move his line. They, being Prizepicks, did not bump his line up. 16.5. I like the over on this one. We will head back to props.cash because I want to break this one down, and I also want to present to you an additional prop for him. So let's go. All right, let's talk about Tobias Harris points today. 16.5. We can see that he did hit this in the last game. Scored 18 points in game 1. So listen, we talk about positive regression with the Boston Celtics. there is some positive regression here for Tobias Harris to be had, man. Look, he scored 18 points, and yes, he did hit his point prop, but look, he only shot the ball 16 times. I honestly was expecting 18, 19 shot attempts from him. You don't think that's a big deal, but 3 extra shot attempts definitely is a lot in the NBA. He took a backseat to Harden's epic performance. Harden went H-Town. Harden went back to H-Town. I remember those days. Harden was epic. He was the man. You know, I love the Frohawk. I love that. I wish he would bring it back. And he like resurrected that Harden, that version of Harden. Of course, everybody takes a back seat to that. So Tobias Harris, in spite of that huge performance from Harden, was still able to hit his point prop. Imagine if Harden doesn't have that game today. Who has to step up for the 76ers? Tobias Harris. So I think he's in a good spot to, again, exceed 16.5 points. I think he can get us 20 today. And because I like the over so much, I think he can get us well over 18 points today. I also like his PRA because his PRA dropped. It was at 26.5 in game 1. It got bumped down to 25.5. Had it been 25.5 in game 1, he would have hit this PRA. He hooked it in game 1. So I think there's an opportunity here to leverage and take advantage of it and go ahead and put the over on his PRA as well. So those are your 2 Tobias Harris props that I like for today, and we're going to go ahead and just add that one in there as well. So let's quickly recap these plays. We got Tatum over 43.5 PRA, Jaylen Brown over 24 points, 24.5 points, Tobias Harris over both 16.5 points and 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. Drop a comment below. Let me know who you like on this very, very small Prizepicks board. Also, let me know what you think about these 4 player props that we covered in today's video. As always, I appreciate the time you take to watch this video, but I truly appreciate the continued support, the likes, the subs, and all the comments. And I keep saying this, I'll say it until I can't say it anymore. It does help this channel get a bit bigger every single day as we continue our march on into 5,000 subscribers. Thank you all so very much. If you don't know about it, you know about it now. Join my free player prop Discord server. Link is in the description below. In the second paragraph, you will see bold capital letters, Discord link here. Click that link, verify you're a human being, and read my rules, and then you're in. Have some fun with us. We're talking player props. We're talking first half, second half, the first quarter player props, the first 6-minute player props, all that degenerate stuff. We're talking about it over in the Discord, and we're up to 300 members. So one of my most active members in the Discord is encouraging me with getting it up to 1,000 by the end of May. So can we get 1,000? Can we get 1,000 members in the Discord by the end of May? We shall see. Best of luck to you all tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you tell any of these plays, drop a comment below. Let me know. And until tomorrow's, I don't believe we have any games tomorrow, actually. So until Friday's NBA playoff player prop video, Chavez is